Hey everyone, and welcome to week number 18 of FAQ Friday. So today's episode is geared towards those who are looking to sell their home. You own a home, maybe down the road you're looking to sell, maybe next month you're gonna explore that option. Today's episode is for you, and I will dive right into my most commonly asked question when I sit down with sellers is, how do I know it's a good time for me to sell my home? So that's question number one. And that question is twofold, because there is the are you ready to sell, and there is the market indicating it's a good time for you to sell. So the first part, are you ready to sell? Are you ready to emotionally detach yourself from your home? Because when I sit down with sellers, you'll notice that I stop calling your home a home and I start calling it property, because you emotionally need to detach yourself from your home. And if you're not ready to do that, it may not be a good time for you to sell. The other part is, are you financially ready to take that next step? So are you financially ready to incur the costs of selling a home? And if you're going to be getting a bigger home, are you ready for that increase in monthly payment? Are you financially ready for that? The other side is the market indicating it's a good time for you to sell your home. So a couple things that you want to look at on that front is, in your neighborhood, has there been growth in the past few years? And has it been strong? Has it been weak? Has it been stable? What is that trend in the market showing you? So if it's been growing for the past few years, that could indicate that it's a good time for you to sell. Another factor that us as real estate agents use is calculating the absorption rate. So this just shows how quickly homes are going to be, moving, and if it's a buyer or a seller's market. So the way that you find that out is by dividing the homes that have went active in, a certain period of time, and dividing that by the homes that have sold in that same period of time in that general neighborhood. So if you get, 3 or less, meaning 3 months or less of inventory, and that's how fast it will turn over and sell, then that means it's a seller's market. If you get around 4, then that means it's a stable market, and then 5 or more means it's more of a buyer's market. So you can imagine 3 or less is good, because for sellers, it means it's a seller's market. So that's a really good factor to consider economically if it's a good time for you to sell. And there is no rhyme or reason as to, if spring's a good time to sell, if winter is a good time to sell. It just really depends on your market, because sometimes the hottest markets are even in December. So that's question number one. Question number two is, how do I assess the value of my home for listing? So contrary to the popular belief that a Zestimate is an accurate way to, determine the value of your home, you want to lean on your realtor, because what they're going to do is they're going to prepare a comparable market analysis. So they're going to see other homes that have sold, not pending, not active, other homes that have sold in your neighborhood that are similar to yours, and they're going to compare your home to those homes. And then that will kind of help determine what the market is saying you should list your home for. So you'll take a look at that, and then you'll also just kind of assess how the market is currently acting. So if it's a really hot market, houses are flying off the shelves, then you might want to price a little bit more aggressively than in a market where houses are sitting for a little bit, where you're going to want to price very competitively off the bat. So that's question number two. And question number three is, what costs can I expect to incur when I'm selling my home? So this is another really big question that we are commonly asked as realtors. There is a decent amount of cost that is incurred when you sell a home, and that's why in my first question, I said, are you financially ready to sell your home? So the biggest cost is the real estate commissions. That's usually between 5 and 6% of the sale price, and it's split between your listing agent and the buyer agent, the person that brings the buyer for your property. So 5 to 6% off the bat. You will have closing costs. So that's usually between 1 to 2%, because you have transfer costs, and then the title company has some costs that you will incur, for you to be able to pay off your loan and, actually go through the closing process. Another thing that a lot of homeowners don't take into consideration is cost for home inspection repairs. So a lot of sellers are blindsided when they get that home inspection repair request from a buyer, and they say, holy crap, I have, $1,000 or so of repairs that I need to make, or this buyer might walk away from purchasing my home. So definitely set aside some money for that. And one way that you can prepare yourself for that is to actually have a home inspector come through your property before you list it, so you know exactly all of the defects that are within your home, and you can either prepare and complete those repairs before you list it, or you can just have that in your mind that the buyer might be asking for repairs that you're already aware of from that inspection. So that is all for today. That was a mouthful. If you have any questions about selling, buying, renting, investing, I'm here for you guys, and I hope you have a great weekend. See ya.